You gotta take the challenge that's locked in your brain and go for it. If you don't go for the challenge, then how can you succeed in your own goals towards your life?
We have Mathew Flementes. He is a graduate of the therapy program. Next to Mathew is his mother, Shelley.
I'm especially excited that I have Mathew and his mom, Shelley, here. I can say that it's been an interesting and fun run for us together to work on therapeutic interventions with Mathew and his mom, and including his family and his dad and his brother and his grandma. And I think maybe, Auntie's been around for a few sessions, and it's a family affair, which is pretty common for how our program runs. The best ways that we can be of service to our children and their journey is to help their families understand where they are in the journey, and then listen to the family's wishes around what they feel is the right next step for their child, or where they're experiencing challenges and difficulties. We were all on the same team for Mathew, really trying to help him live and grow and be the best version of Mathew that he could be. He has stepped up to the plate time and time again on so many levels. You started with the therapy program when you were pretty small.
That's correct.
What's your first memory about me coming to your house?
The first memory that I have of remembering of you coming to my house is my mom told me that someone new was coming into the house, and that kind of put me on edge of my seat here, and I wasn't sure how to react to that at the start of when we first met. But then when you kept coming, then I got more and more comfortable as the days went on from there.
Yeah, actually, your mom interviewed me before she ever let me come in the front door. She took me to lunch. She said, "What's the next step? How does this happen?" And I said, "Well, I'll come to your house. We'll fill out some paperwork." And she said, "How about I take you to lunch?" Right? So that was our first session. We had lunch. We talked about what it was. And then we came to your house. And unbeknownst to you at the time, I did an assessment. I looked at where you were and how you were doing things. And your mom and I had a conversation about what was important to her, and then we talked to you a little bit when you were little about what was important to you, and then we made a plan.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And through the years, we did so many different things.
So I remember the first time my fingers were locking up, and we've been doing this finger locking drill, where you just go from finger to finger in as you go back and forth 5 to 10 times. And from there on, if you keep doing that, things just help your fingers grow stronger. And you also sometimes have to move pennies out of your hands and into another basket, which can also help your fingers get in stronger shape.
Right. One of my favorite stories about trying to think of the next best challenge for you with your hands and getting them to work the way you wanted them to work was I brought a knot tying kit. And I thought, wow, Mathew is this great boy. Tying knots is a cool thing for boys to learn. I'm going to bring this knot tying kit.
That was actually one of my favorite memories. I've always wanted to learn how to tie my shoe. And that was one of the greatest moments in my life. So I always had to ask for help. It made not just tying shoes easier, but just doing knots in general actually now helps me even more in my life.
There was a little bit of pushback. There were these little index cards that showed you how you were supposed to put this loop around that loop and pull it down and whatever. And it was kind of too big of a challenge. And so we looked at it together, and you said, I don't know if I want to do this. And I said, okay, well, I bet you can't tie me to this chair I'm sitting in.
And then the next day, she comes, and things just were starting to kind of click, but it was still a challenge inside the brain. So you gotta like take the challenge that's locked in your brain and go for it. If you don't go for the challenge, then how can you succeed in your own goals towards your life?
Well said, Matthew. Well said. We moved from not tying. Do you remember we used to do all those connects activities with these little teeny tiny pieces and these booklets about how to build? We built all kinds of things. You built that cool roller coaster, and we built surfboards, and we built some cool cars we had those wheels on them. Right? Constantly looking at the next challenge for him to do the problem solving piece cognitively as well as the fine motor piece. And then we did a lot of cooking together as you got even older. I still have your stuffed shells recipe. It's one of my favorites.
I'm glad to hear that. It is meant to be that popular. I actually have a new one that I'm about to start this summer. So I'm going to be building a Lego ATV in my own house as a puzzle.
You've also had a lot of other really awesome life experiences, like being involved in Special Olympics.
Yes, I have. I have played basketball, track, soccer, football, bowling, volleyball, even baseball. I have played almost every sport, and I've played football. You name the sport, I have almost played them all.
What was your most recent experience with Special Olympics?
Special Olympics has given me a new thing to look towards. It has given me a whole new goal to achieve now. There is a record in a record book that I am planning on breaking in a couple of days. So now I kind of want to step up my A game in Special Olympics for the most gold medals that possibly can be awarded to a person and go into a record book one day. And also, I am the only person who has won the pentathlon 2 times in a row in 2 years. So the pentathlon is 5 events in one day. The 100-meter dash, high jump, long jump, triple jump, and the 800-meter dash along with the shot put.
And you had 2 other competitors. You guys all worked really hard at doing your personal best, and you all really supported each other.
Yes, so having 2 other opponents go against you, even though that you might be faster in some of the events, it's still good to push yourself to a certain limit that can help you improve your game and step up to the next level and rise to the next challenge.
I hear you're also a movie star. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
So I am actually a 3-time movie star now, because I have just been shot in my 3rd movie. So I am in 2 movies. One movie is actually out on Amazon Prime right now, that's called The Beast of Harmony Falls. We have actually been doing movies with one of my friends who's a community guide of mine called Dave Aslan. He has a series of books, about 5 or 6 books that he wants to turn into movies. His series has actually been giving me another goal to look towards. It has to be filmed in all 5 to 6 books of his movies.
Yeah, so in Kelso Longview in October, the end of October, will be the movie premiere where Matthew will walk the red carpet. So that's pretty cool. So Matthew, tell me now, what's going on in your life in terms of volunteer and work opportunities?
So I did have a job at the Willapa Elementary School down in Raymond, Washington at Willapa. But now, since I got 2 volunteer jobs in the same town, so I now work at Pennywise, and I work at a horse sanctuary for a guy named Paul. And he needs a volunteer that he can trust there, be able to go there. Even on days that he may not be there, he needs someone reliable who can help feed his animals and take care of them for him. Even when he's not around, or my job coaching around, and she's got to cancel that day, I can take care of it. Even when there's no one else there, I can always make sure that the animals are taken care of for the whole day.
Nice, cool. All right, I do want to say to you that I really have always appreciated how you remind me how to be a better therapist. For example, there's another young man that lives in your community that I'm working with who is also now working on shoe tying. And so Matthew has helped me remember all the different ways we approach shoe tying for him. And he's coached me on how to present that to this next young man.
That is correct. And actually, some of that shoe tying evidence that she just told you about, that didn't really come from her. Part of that shoe tying equipment came from my nurse from the high school, who took me from a 6th grader clear the way through a super senior. She has helped me through many years of my life, just as well as my mom has been there to support me from as a Viking to a Grays Harbor Blackhawk to where I am now.
Yes, we owe Nurse Kim a great tribute for all the ways she helped you grow. And she was the one with the bunny mantra for the shoe tying that really resonated with you. Nurse Kim knocked it out of the park on that one. Okay.
I'd just like to hear from Matthew, now that he's aging out of the program, where he's going in life from here.
So I am actually looking forward to a fall job now, since the school has made a really bad decision down in Willapa to let me go. So now I am looking forward to, a new job that will, step up and really challenge me with all the strengths that the Elks have given me now. And with all that, I want to experience harder work and just, challenge myself a bit more and push a bit harder myself and just get better with every step that I take and go from there.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Matthew is not afraid of hard work and heavy work. He's a wood splitter. He loves getting dirty. So mucking those horse stalls, right? I'm like, you do that part? He's like, yeah, I really like the part. He volunteered at the fish hatchery where, those fish make really slimy things happen in those ponds at those hatcheries. And he was all over that opportunity. So if you know anybody in the Raymond area who is looking for a hard worker, we got your guy right here. And again, since the Willapa Elementary School made a bad decision and decided to let him go, he's in the market for a new opportunity. And what's true, and I will say this in each of your communities as well, there are kids like Matthew who are needing those opportunities. So if you're in a position where you can help provide that opportunity, whether it's full-time employment, part-time employment, supported employment, a volunteer opportunity for them, these young people have worked hard and they want to be part of it, and they want to feel valued by their community. And so that's another way as good people that you can help step up and offer that opportunity for them. The Elks can do that.